So we're gonna do some like active flexibility stuff with me mostly. So it's kind of combining cardio with flexibility stuff. It's all moving, but also feeling that stretch. So we're gonna do 3 different sets. I'll just talk you through the first set first. So the first minute is all gonna be focused on your neck. You can just follow me as we do it. It's gonna be like either no, yes, or stretching side to side. And then we're going to move down to your upper back. You can see me. You're going to go into like a prayer position here. So you should feel in your upper back, and then you're going to kick your left leg up and then your right leg up when I tell you to switch. Then you're going to do Cobra Push-Ups. So you're going to kind of do, whenever we do push-ups, you're always told to keep your back straight, but we're going to do the opposite of that this time and arch your back the whole way up and down for a minute. And then we're going to do shoulder circles. We're going to start with little, like Cheerio sizes, forward and backwards, and then big, like reaching all the way around your ears, forwards and backwards. And then the last minute will be finger flicks, out, then in. Okay, so get ready to start with your neck. I will get my timer for 1 minute. Oops. Okay, so we're gonna start with just like saying no, shaking your head. And then you're gonna switch to yes, looking up and down. And then you're gonna bring one ear to one shoulder and take that same hand over to the other ear. You're not gonna actually like pull your neck down, just use the weight of your hand to weigh your head down a little bit. And switch sides. And relax. Okay, so now we're going to go into the upper back one. So go and get on your belly. And you're gonna put your hands together. Your whole forearm is flat on the ground. And then you're gonna start by kicking your left foot in 3, 2, 1. Halfway through this side. And then you're gonna switch sides. Kick your right leg. Try to keep your knees straight while you're doing this and look like forward or up. And relax. Okay, now we're gonna go straight into the Cobra Push-Ups. I'm gonna take a layer off really quick. And we'll go into Cobra Push-Ups in 3, 2, 1. Try to roll up like one vertebrae at a time. And same thing back down. And you feel it all the way up and down your back. There's 20 seconds left. And relax. Okay, now we're gonna go into arm circles. We'll start with just small Cheerios to the back. So with this one, you're trying to reach your fingers like to each side as much as possible. And switch, go forwards. And now you're gonna do big arm circles backwards. So try to actually keep the shape of that circle. Don't cut yourself short on the back here, like cut down, go all the way back. You're leading with your pinkies backwards, and then switch to go forwards. Good. And then we're gonna go into finger flicks. So first, flick your fingers like accent outwards. Really try to apply a lot of pressure outward. This one's like really easy to cheat. Like I can't actually tell if you're engaging, so make sure you don't cheat yourself. Really push. And then we're gonna switch the accent so it's in. Feel the burnout, keep going. We have 20 seconds left. Make sure your accent is still in now instead of out. So it's in, in, in. Yeah. Keep going. And relax. Shake it out. You can grab a sip of water because that's the end of the first set. Okay, now for the second set, I'll walk you through each of them. So first up is fire hydrants. We did these last week as well. So you're gonna first have your knee bent, bring it to the side, and then kick it out and bend it again and switch sides. So we're gonna do that for the first minute. And then you can do squat pulses. So you'll do a squat and pulse a few times and come up. And then it is, open and close the gate. So this one you can kind of judge how much space you have, how much you do it in place versus how much you move. But first you're gonna open the gate, so turn your knee in and out and kind of gallop to the side. And then when you run out of space, just turn around and do it the other direction. Then we're gonna close the gate. So I face side on, chasse, I close it all the way across, chasse, close it all the way across, and turn. And then we're going to do leg kicks. So you're just gonna lie down, kick your legs up. I'll walk you through. It's gonna be like each leg and then each leg pointed and each leg flexed. Then you're gonna do that same thing with open hips on each side. So we're gonna start with fire hydrants. We're gonna get onto your hands and knees, and we will start in 3, 2, 1. You're halfway there. And relax. Now we're gonna go into squat pulses. So everyone stand up. I'm gonna start in 3, 2, 1. Squat down, pulse a few times, and come back up. Halfway there. And relax. Now we are going to go into open the gate. So if you have space to back up a little bit, that's ideal. And we're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Turn your knee in and go to the side. In, to the side. To the side, and then just turn around when you run out of space. Good, and now we're going to switch to close the gate. So you're going to start with your leg turned in, or turned out, and turn in. And relax. Now you're going to come lie down on your back. And we're going to do leg kicks. While we're doing these, make sure your lower back stays flat on the ground. We're going to start with your right leg pointed and make sure both knees stay straight. In 3, 2, 1. Right leg pointed. And right leg flexed. And left leg pointed. Make sure your lower back is still flat on the ground and both knees are staying straight. Now flex your left leg for the last 15 seconds. And relax. And now you're going to come onto your side. So I'm on my elbow here, and then I'm heeling here. You're going to do open hip kicks. In 3, 2, 1. And you're going to switch sides, move yourself around quickly, and jump right into that other side. And relax. Okay, that's set 2 done. You can grab another drink of water. We have one more set to go. So the last set, we're gonna start with Pike Rolls, which I've done a few times here, so most of you have seen before. You're gonna reach forward and then roll backwards and try to touch your feet to the ground. Then reach forward, roll back. That's gonna be the first one. Now we're gonna do straddle, like, I don't know how to explain, but you're gonna bend your elbows. You can adjust this based on your flexibility level, but for me, I'm gonna start with my elbows bent. I'm gonna go right, touch the ground. I don't know if you can see that. Then touch the ground on the right side, then the left side, then the middle, and then other way, left, right, middle, and then I do the same thing, but I try to touch my nose to my knee / the ground instead of my elbows. And then we're going to do rock the baby. So for this one, basically gonna take the lower half of your leg and hold it like a baby and rock it side to side. And then we're gonna do this one. You're gonna hold your hands behind your back, bend one knee, straighten the other and flex, then reach forward. So you're just gonna do some pulses in this one for 1 minute. And then you're going to do ankle circles. I'll talk you through which foot, which direction. And then we're gonna finish off with 1 minute of high knees, just so you finish off breathing heavy. Okay, so get ready to start with your Pike Rolls. And we will start in 3, 2, 1. You're halfway there. And relax. Okay, now we're gonna move into the straddle one. So sit in whatever angle straddle you desire. And I'm gonna start with my elbows in 3, 2, 1. Go right, left, middle. And try to keep both of your butt cheeks on the ground. And now if you can, you're gonna switch to your nose instead of your elbows. And relax. Ponytail was going crazy during that one. Okay, now we're gonna go into rock the baby. So you're gonna grab whichever leg you can and I put like my arch of my foot in my elbow of the opposite side, and then my knee in the elbow of the same side. If you can't do it, you can just go with one hand or whatever you are able to do. And I will start our timer and just rock your baby side to side. And then you're gonna switch sides. We're gonna have my opposite elbow in the arch of my foot and same elbow in my knee. Now if you need to feel it more, the side that my arch of my foot is in, I pull that side in closer to my body. And relax. Good. And now we are going to go into the, I don't remember what this one's called, but stand up and hold your hands behind your back. Bend one knee, straighten the other, and then just bend down. And just switch every time. We have 20 seconds left. And relax. Okay, now we are going to go into ankle circles. So you can sit down. We're gonna start with your right ankle going to the outside. You can kind of hold or position yourself however you please in this one. And then switch directions with that same foot. And then you're going to switch feet. Go to the outside first. And with this one, like we are going pretty quick, but you can really try to think about pointing and flexing. And then switch directions. I'm really bad with this direction on my left side. I like can't coordinate it. And relax. Okay, last thing we're going to do is 1 minute of high knees. So really try to put as much energy into it as you can. We're gonna start in 3, 2, 1. Halfway there. "15 seconds left. Keep getting those knees up super high. And relax. All right, good job. Now I can grab a drink of water, and I will hand it over to Megan once she catches her breath.
Hi, thank you, Olivia. So I was gonna start, take a drink. I was gonna start mine with high knees, but I guess I'm not gonna make you do it again. So what I'm gonna focus on today is abs, and then we'll do splits at the end because I can't not do splits. So I'm also gonna, every exercise we do, we're gonna repeat it for 40 seconds. So instead of doing a certain amount of reps, I'm just gonna tell you when the time's up, because I find that's a little bit easier. So we're gonna start on our mat on one end, and we're gonna do inchworms for 40 seconds. So I'll show you. So I'm gonna roll down, walk my hands out. I'm gonna walk my hands back in, and then I pull up. If you're feeling nice and strong, you can try to do a push-up once you get out to your plank, but I'm not gonna make you do that. So here we go. We're gonna start for 40 seconds, and off we go. So roll down, walk yourself out, make sure your belly's held, walk yourself back in, and then pull up, and then again. And really hold your seat when you go out to your plank. And we have 10 seconds. And 5. Good. There we go. Okay, so for the next one, so I can see everyone, what the next one is we're gonna do is, so I'll show you. So this is my favorite, but we're gonna come into downward dog, and you're gonna pick one leg. For me, it's gonna be my right. I'm gonna bring it into my chest, and then back to downward dog, and I switch. Okay, so we're gonna do that for 40 seconds. And here we go, and we're started. And we're halfway there. And rest. Okay, so one more we're gonna do in downward dog before we get into our abs is we're gonna do our downward dog push-ups. So we should have all done these before, but you go into your downward dog and you're gonna lower yourself down into a push-up and come back up. Okay, so you're gonna do 40 seconds of those, and off we go. Good, and we're halfway there. And 10 seconds. And rest. Okay, so the next one, oh, am I frozen? Let's see. Okay, perfect. I think I'm back. Am I frozen? Okay, so the next one we're gonna do is up and down plank. So these are Olivia's least favorite. So she finds that they hurt her wrists. So if you're finding that as well, you don't have to go all the way up, but so I'll show you. So if I'm in my high plank, I'm gonna lower down to my elbows and then walk myself back up, and I'm gonna switch between my sides. Okay, so we're gonna do that one for 40 seconds. And here we go. And really think about engaging your core when you're doing these as well. And halfway there. And 10 seconds. And 5. And rest. Good, so last one before I let you get a drink. We're gonna do our plank. So you can either do your high plank on your hands. I'm gonna go onto my elbows, but you can pick whatever one you want. And we're gonna hold for 40 seconds. I'll let you know when we're halfway, so if you wanna switch halfway, you can as well. And here we go. And I'm starting. Make sure to keep breathing. And hold your seats in your bellies. And we're halfway through. And 10. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good, so you can get a quick drink before we do the next section. Okay, so now we're gonna flip onto our backs. And the first one we're gonna do is it's a little bit more relaxed than what we were just doing. But you guys should know this one, we're gonna have so my right leg goes, I'm in the 90 degree here. My right leg goes down, my left arm's gonna go up by my head, and I come back through, and I switch, so it's opposition. And I switch. And I'm gonna start now. I find I keep my shoulders lifted off the ground because that helps me keep my core engaged and my back into the floor. But you can also just rest your head down if you want. And we have 15 seconds to go. And rest. Okay, so we're gonna progress from this one and we're gonna do bicycle crunches. So same thing, when I do my bicycle crunches, I keep my shoulders off the ground. You can also think about keeping your elbows far apart. But then if it's too much, you can also put your shoulders on the ground. But if you want more of a challenge, you should try to lift them. And here we go. And starting. And 20 seconds to go. And keep breathing. Three, 2, and 1. Okay, this one's pretty tough, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a crunch with our legs lifted off the ground, and then we're gonna go into leg extension. So I'm gonna shoot my legs down towards the ground, but I'm not gonna touch them to the floor. And I'm gonna go back up to a crunch, and then back down as close to the floor as I can. I find it harder if I keep my hands off the ground, so I usually try not to touch them to the floor. But if you need that extra support, you can use your hands. But so you can control how hard you want it based on how low your legs go to the ground as well. And here we go. Starting. And halfway there. And 5. And rest. Good. Okay, so we're gonna do, I don't know what the actual name for them are. I hear them as like V-ups or snaps or so, but the version I'm gonna do is I'm lying on my back. I'm going to reach up. I'm gonna stretch one leg. I'm gonna reach up, and then I'm gonna come back down. I'm gonna switch, and then I'm gonna do both legs together. Up, oh, up. It's also a balance thing. So we're gonna go one leg, second leg, and then both legs. And for 40 seconds, here we go. And halfway there. And 10 seconds. Good, and rest. Okay, so the last ab one we're gonna do before our splits is our hollow and our Superman. So I'm not gonna make you hold each of them for 40 seconds, but we're gonna hold each one for 20. So as a reminder, our hollow, we're lifting our shoulders off the ground, our arms are by our ears, and our feet come off the ground. And then when I say switch, we're gonna roll onto our bellies, and we're doing the opposite, so our hands are still by our ears, our arms, and we're gonna lift. Okay, so this is gonna be the last ab one, I promise. So it's only 20 seconds each side. Here we go. So we're on our backs, hands by our ears, and off we go. Good, and only 5, 4, 3, 2, and flip. And up we go. Good. Awesome. So let's take a drink, and then we're gonna do our splits. Okay, so I'm gonna do my training leg first. So my not so great leg. You can start with whatever one you want. So mine's my left side. So I'm gonna come up on my knee. I'm gonna tuck my supporting leg, my hip. I'm gonna tuck it under. If I feel like I'm not getting a stretch here, I can lean forward a little bit, but I'm not gonna lean too much just because I don't wanna overstretch. So here we go. Set my timer. As we keep holding, if you feel like you can go a little bit farther, you can. Make sure your chest is nice and tall. Good. Now we're gonna transition, and we're gonna stretch our front leg. So, and we're gonna make sure our hips are square. So I'm pulling back my front leg to square off my hips. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna point our toe for 20 seconds, and we're gonna flex for 20 seconds. Here we go. If you feel like you can stretch your hamstring a little bit more, feel free to walk your hands forward. So my toes pointed, but if I feel like I can lean a little bit more forward, I will. And 5 more seconds, then we're gonna flex. And here we go, flex. Stretch your knee. Three, 2, and 1, good. Now we're gonna go into our split and we're gonna hold it for 40 seconds. So you're gonna slide down, try to keep your hips square, and off we go. If you need blocks, I'll make sure, yeah, everyone looks good. If you need blocks, you can feel free to use them. Make sure your chest is nice and tall. If you feel like you're leaning forward a little bit, you can try to walk your hands back. Make sure you're pointing your toes. We're halfway there. Really stretch up on your kneecaps. We're gonna think about really stretching our legs down into the ground. For the last 10. Good. Good, now the other side. So I have my right leg forward now. We're gonna start with just tucking our hip under. And off we go. So right now my left leg is the one with my knee down on the ground. Some people find it helpful to reach that left arm up as well. So whatever you find. Good, and last 15. Three, 2, and 1. Good, we're gonna stretch our leg now. So our toe's gonna be pointed, and off we go. So toe pointed, knee straight. If you feel like you can challenge yourself a little bit more, you can reach forward. If that's enough, if you need blocks, you can also adjust there. But try to breathe into your stretch here. I know they're not the most comfortable. And now we're gonna stretch into a flexed foot. So again, try to breathe. Three, 2, and 1. Now we're gonna stretch into our split. So same thing here. We're gonna square off our hips, go into our split. If you need blocks, feel free to grab some. And off we go. So if you feel like you can walk your hands back a little bit more, you might feel a bit taller. If you want to try to only put your fingertips on the ground, you can try that. If you want to try to lift your hands if you're in your split, you can. Then we have 15 seconds left. So we're going to really stretch our knees and think about pushing the back of our legs down into the floor. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, good. Okay, so last one, I'm sure it's not many people's favorite, is our middle split. So we're gonna stretch our frog for 40 seconds, and then we're gonna go into our full split for 40 seconds. And if you feel like you can't do a full split after we do our frog, you can go one leg for 20 seconds, and then one leg for 20 seconds, or you can just do both legs. I'll let you know the time, but we're gonna go into our frog. You wanna try to make sure your legs are at a 90-degree angle as well. And here we go. You can like rock forward and backwards too to feel a bit deeper stretch when you shoot your bum back. Good, so we're halfway there if you want to adjust anything now, or you can wait until we're in our full split. And 5 seconds. Awesome. So last one we're gonna do is our full split. So for me, I'm gonna take away my mat because I find it's too sticky. But if you need a block or anything for your elbows, you can get that as well. So here we go. We're gonna, and I'll let you know when we get to 20 seconds as well. And here we go. Think about pointing your toes and stretching your knees. And we're halfway through, so if you want to switch, you can. And for last 10. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Let's just shake out our hips a little bit. I find these always help put things back into place. And shake out your pike. Awesome. So that was awesome. I don't know if Anna has anything she wants to add.
Eric, are you around?
Megan, you know, some people say millennials think boom boxes are really
Yes.
millennial. But I think that it's just a stereotype.
Okay. Oh God.
Olivia, what do you do with a kid who's been injured in a peekaboo accident?
I don't know. What do you do?
You take them to the ICU.
Oh God.
I see what you did there.
I love it.